Okay, YouTube, this video's on the LCP Custom. I don't know why I like these little pocket pistols so much, but I do. So, I got two of them here. This one, my wife carries. It's got the green grip all, hold grip. This is the newest one, the LCP Custom. It has the black hold grip. I'm normally not a fan of these slip-on grips, but on the LCP, it locks into the mainspring housing, and it has a pin that goes through it, so these won't move. And they make shooting the gun a whole lot better. They make it a lot wider. Now, I like these little LCPs. I don't know why, but I do. And I thought they'd quit making the custom because it's not showing on their website. I haven't seen it in any stores, but I got an email from RK Guns that it was the flash sale, and I got it for $209. RK Guns. It's worth a look to go to their website and sign up for their emails. You get a couple of emails a week, and they have some really good sales, and they'll ship them to any FFL. Rural King is the name of the store. I happen to live near a Rural King store, but RK Guns will ship to any FFL, and they'll put out a flash sale or gun of the week deal, and it's worth your while. They'll beat anybody, Buds or anybody else, on their prices. I haven't never seen this. When I used to see it, it was always around $269. I got it for $209. I think that's about the same as I paid for the regular LCP. Now, thank you, Ruger, for not putting a safety on these guns, but they did accommodate the people that can't handle a gun without a safety. They shipped the gun. It's in a cardboard box, by the way, but that's okay. For what you pay for it, you don't expect a whole lot. But they shipped it with this lock here for you people that need a safety. So you could take this lock and you can lock the slide back on it, run the cable down through the mag well, out the grip, and lock it. Then you put this in the lock in one pocket, put the key and your magazine in the other pocket. I'd carry the magazine empty because remember, you're scared and you don't want that key to accidentally bump that primer. So you have this and the key in one pocket, this gun with the lock in the other pocket. Then you're safe, you're completely safe. So when the assailant comes up to you and puts a knife in your neck or whatever, you can call timeout. I mean, you were going to call timeout anyway because you were going to need to either rack around in the chamber because you don't carry with a round in the chamber, or you were going to need to manipulate the tiny little safety that's on most of these guns that have it. Well, you know, you can't just pop it. So you were going to have to call a 3 or 4 second timeout anyway, so you might as well just call a 30-minute timeout. Tell the assailant you need to run down to the local sporting goods store and get you a box of ammo. So that'll work out for you people that need a safety. But for the people that don't need a safety, these guns are good for pocket carry. I don't really carry them in my pocket a whole lot. But I have this little holster here. It's a belt clip. It's tiny. I carry it in that some. I bought this crossbreed holster off eBay. I don't use it. It's nice, but that's not necessary for this tiny little gun. It was cheap. I bought it. And they're nice holsters if you never had a crossbreed or a white hat. But it also, the custom shipped with a pocket holster. And that's nice. It's not, you know, it does the job. I'm not sure if all the LCPs, I know the LCP2 ships with a pocket holster, and this custom did. I don't believe this one did, but they may be shipping them all like this now, and if they are, good for them. Because that's usable. And it's a pocket gun. But, back to the subject at hand. The differences between the custom and the regular no-dash LCP, modern LCP. The first thing you notice is the red trigger. The red trigger, it's aluminum. The standard trigger's plastic. And the main difference is the sights. This one has dovetail, drift adjustable rear sight, a luminescent, well, it's a glow in the dark front sight, not a tritium, but they're quite a bit taller. I don't know how good a job I'm doing there. Probably not very good. But they're quite a bit taller, and it's a whole lot easier to stay on target with, I'm going to tell you. Some people will say these snag on stuff, and I guess that's possible. I don't know. People will complain about anything. It hasn't been a problem for me. They are easier to, shoot. I can shoot more accurate with it, but these ain't guns you're going to shoot 200 rounds through at the range anyway. But the standard one's got smaller sights. I painted this front one orange, and it's not bad. But like I said, these guns ain't made for long-range target shooting. The trigger itself on them is identical. The trigger pull, I can't tell any difference in the trigger pull or the reset. Now this red aluminized trigger is a little wider, and it also has a sharp edge on it. That is, I'm going to count that as a benefit, because that makes you pull the trigger with the part of your finger that you're supposed to pull it with, not your joint. If this was your finger and you pull it straight back, it's going to make you shoot more accurate. If you put it in here to your joint where your finger's like this, I know I'm not showing that very well, you're going to pull, it's going to push the gun ever so slightly to the left or right, depending on which hand you shoot with. And a 1/4 inch here at the muzzle is going to be probably a foot at 10 yards. I'm sure there's some egghead scientist that can figure out that equation and tell you exactly. But putting your finger in the trigger all the way to your first joint will tend to make you slightly pull it to the side. And that took me a long time to train myself to shoot by pulling the trigger with the pad of your finger straight back. And once I did that, my accuracy become tremendously better. And that's not just on these little guns, that's on any gun. These guns that, people will compare them to the Glock. I carry my Glock 26 most of the time, but I carry these little guns quite a bit. One thing I'm going to say is any gun you buy, new or used, clean it before you shoot it. I brought this one home, took it out of the box, and I took it apart, and I just wiped it down. And this is what come off of it, just by wiping it down. It was covered with oil. There's dirt. There's a little rust. I don't know how it rusted with so much oil on it, but that's just me wiping it down right out of the box, brand new. It was dirty. It was oily. You need to buy a gun, used or new. First thing you need to do is take it apart and clean it. I know people that'll buy a gun, take it out of the box, load it up, put it in a holster and carry it. That is just ridiculous. Never ever trust a gun you've never shot. But don't shoot a gun you've never cleaned. I've bought and sold guns for many years. I've had thousands of guns. I've took some apart that were just packed with grease. I don't know where people learn to take care of a gun, but you just don't trust anybody. Take it apart, clean it, inspect it, make sure all the parts look like they're supposed to, then shoot it. I'm not going to carry a gun I haven't put at least a couple of 100 rounds through. This one here, my wife carries it now. It's probably got close to 500 rounds. No malfunctions. That's amazing for a $200 gun. No malfunctions. This one, I'm going to say I'm right at 200. Close, maybe a little over. No malfunctions. Now, I carry it, like I said, in this holster most of the time. I have a DeSantis pocket holster I carry it in. But this one that come with it, it's not bad. And I'm glad that it's usable. At least they sent you something you could use rather than just a zip-up pouch or something you're just going to toss in a cabinet. So I'll give Ruger that. Now the quirk I have with these guns, they only come with one mag. That's a downer. And the mags are expensive. But you gotta watch. These mags, sometimes they're hard to get to seat. So I mean, you can't just ease it in there. It won't catch. It's just, that's the only quirk. Just make sure that mag is seated. That's the only quirk I can live with that. I had one. I bought an extra one. I got the one that come with each of these, and I had an extra one. I even marked it. I had a tough time the other day getting this one to lock in at all. Now it will now, because it ain't got no ammo in it. It's a little more difficult when there's rounds in it, but I had some trouble with this one, so I marked it just so I could investigate a little closer. And I thought it might have something to do with this whole grip, but it don't. I took the grip back off and it didn't make any difference. So just make sure. I've had 4 of these little guns, so I'm not talking out the side of my head here. I know what I'm talking about. I've had 4 of them and they've all been the same. You just got to make sure you slam that mag. No big deal. Once it's in there, it ain't gonna fall out. If you get it locked in there, it's gonna stay. I've never had one drop on me. But I'm not sure if they still make this or not. It's the LCP Custom. I haven't seen them. They're not on the Ruger website, but Rural King, RK Guns. I got an email probably 3-4 weeks ago. It said flash sale, and it was this, and I jumped on it immediately because I'd been wanting one, and I'm glad I did. RK Guns. I would put a link under the video, but I'm not. Type it in. That's just me helping people be lazy. Plus, I probably would mess it up anyway. But no safety. So if you gotta have safety, if you're incompetent, you don't want this gun. But if you got some sense and you want a pocket gun, it's reliable. I've had a few of them. I've had this one, the Taurus, the Beretta. I've had a bunch of them. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. None of them are real bad, but I think for the money, I like this one the best. And I'll probably get some negative comments because I said something about the thumb safety. Oh my goodness. But I believe, I heard one time somebody say that we should take the warning labels off everything and just let natural selection take its place. Everything you see's got warning labels on it to warn stupid people so they don't get hurt. Hey, take the warnings off. That'll get rid of some of this stupid. But the LCP, like I said, you ain't going to see a torture test like you do on Glock. Somebody shooting 1,000 rounds through one of these, because that'd be a torture test for your hand, not the gun. But at 21 feet, 7 yards, I use the paper plates for targets. They're cheap, they're easy to come by. I could put all my rounds on this plate at least at 21 feet pretty much every time. Good enough for me. I'll take it. Thanks for watching. That's all I got. See you next time.